Over the last couple of years, video games have become a household name. In countries like South Korea, they've become a thing of culture. And around the world, at international tournaments, champions are crowned many, many, many times. Yet, for a typical teenager like me going through their day-to-day life, gaming is often seen as a distraction by my parents. And although I often shrug it off and assure them everything's fine, I always feel a bit of hesitation afterwards while doing so, and I force myself to ask the question, is there anything good other than entertainment video games are great for? I decided to answer this question by comparing two distinct groups. The first simply being your average, typical everyday gamer, and your second being your everyday person. I decided to use reaction time because I think it's a great thing as a measure of how fast someone reacts to certain stimuli, something video games have a ton of. Going into my experiment now, this went over a 3-day period, and every day I asked my subjects to do the following. First, perform the human benchmark test to record their average reaction time. Afterwards, they play one of 3 games for 10 minutes, answer some questions along the way, and finally repeat performing the human benchmark test again, so we can see the discrepancy before and after they played the game. So, moving on to our first graph here, which is Soul. As you can see, we already start with a huge amount of difference in terms of value because non-gamers are already twice as slow as typical gamers. Those are already huge numbers. You can even see that subject 5 over here on the right, that's a normal or non-gamer, starts with 502 milliseconds compared to gamer 3's 259. That's a big jump, but pay attention to how small it gets, because by day 2, even Minecraft, an open world game, seems to show some improvement for non-gamers. However, interestingly enough, this actually backfires on normal gamers, and I think this is because they're used to different types of stimuli, or they're used to more stimuli, something that open world games don't really give, as you're free to do whatever you want rather than move around all the time. And thirdly, for our last game, League of Legends, you can see here that for the before and after don't seem to show much difference at all. In fact, they seem to just come to a close in terms of making any sorts of difference. But this is actually a good thing, because if you take a look at all 3 of these graphs set together, you know some pretty big trends. The first, however, is this idea of speed. The fact that non-gamers hit such a jump in improvement from day 1 to day 2, and consistently improve, even if slightly, before and after in each day is incredible. Along with the fact that gamers already have these faster reaction times because they've played games more often than these non-gamers. However, there's another factor to this, because it isn't all just luck. It deals with this factor of consistency, that from day to day to day, people are able to retain that knowledge only playing a video game for 10 minutes straight. That's incredible. The last thing I want to bring up, however, is the idea of my hypothesis, that if movement-oriented video games were compared to more open-world or exploration-type games, movement-oriented video games would cause people to perform better when doing their reaction time. And this is because just the constant amount of stress it puts on your brain makes sure that it's always focused and ready to go, no matter what situation you're in. So, what can we take away from all of this? In terms of things like video games, they're not always bad things, because it's not even just reaction time. There's hand-eye coordination, there's math skills, there's reading skills, even puzzles, logic, anything you can think of. But to be fair, you can find anything good and anything that seems inherently bad. All you have to do is look beneath the surface or the screen to find it. Thank you.